அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். ஸோ நம்ம ஜென்ரல் ஸ்டடீஸ் பேஸ் பண்ணி ஜென்ரல் சயின்ஸ் பார்ட்டில் கெமிஸ்ட்ரி சப்ஜெக்டில் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் கான்செப்ட்ஸ் பார்த்துக்கிட்டு இருக்கோம். ஸோ லாஸ்ட் கிளாஸஸில் நம்ம இன்ட்ரடக்ஷன் பார்த்தோம், த கிளாஸிஃபிகேஷன் ஆஃப் எலமெண்ட்ஸ், ஆல் த சப்ஸ்டன்சஸ் பற்றி பார்த்தோம். ஸோ இந்த கிளாஸில் we are going to discuss another important topic, atomic structure, அணு அமைப்பு பற்றி பார்க்கலாம் இந்த வாரம். Okay, let us go to the class. So atomic structure. So the concept of atom was first put forth by John Dalton in the year of 1808. So that he proposed the first atomic theory. So he is known as the father of atomic theory. John Dalton is known as the father of atomic theory. Then after the concept of John Dalton, that means atoms are indivisible, invisible. So they are all identical in an element. All the atoms are identical in an element. The atoms are taking part in a chemical reaction. So these are the postulates of John Dalton. So after a long time back, atoms can be divisible. So many subatomic particles are present in the atom. It was explained by so many scientists, and then so many subatomic particles were discovered. So in the year of 1886, protons are discovered by Goldstein. In the year of 1897, electrons were discovered by J.J. Thomson. And in the year of 1932, neutrons were discovered by Chadwick. So after the discovery of these subatomic particles, the structure of atom have been proposed. So the first atomic model was proposed by J.J. Thomson, and later it was proved that the atomic model of J.J. Thomson was not a correct one, and then it was modified by Rutherford in the year of 1911. So through his alpha particle scattering experiment with gold foil, so he proved that there should be a nucleus within the atom. So all the protons are accumulated in the small portion called nucleus, around which the electrons are revolving around. So this is a model proposed by Rutherford, and the Rutherford model was known as the planetary model. So in the nucleus, protons and neutrons, so they are commonly known as nucleons, are present. So all the mass is located in the nucleus. So after the discovery of this atomic structure, the mass and the charge of this subatomic particle were explained by some other scientist. So for example, the charge of the electron was measured by Millikan by his oil drop experiment in the year of 1917. So the mass by which the mass of the electrons are calculated. So the mass of the electron is very small when compared to the mass of the protons and neutrons. That means the mass of the proton is 1837 times greater than that of the mass of electron. The charges of the particles were discovered. So the charge of electron is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. So as well as the proton charge is also the same. The only difference is the charge of proton is positive and the charge of electron is negative, but the magnitude only the magnitude are changed, the values are equal. Okay. So neutrons are chargeless particle and the charge is 0. When come to the mass of these particles, the mass of electron is 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kilogram, and that of proton is 1.6 into 10 power minus 27, which is equal to the mass of the neutron. So within the atom, now so many subatomic particles were identified within the nucleus. More than 15 particles are identified. So among them, the important subatomic particles are mesons, neutrino, antineutrino, positrons, etc. So after that, after Rutherford, Niels Bohr came into picture. So he explained the stability of the atom. He explained the new model of the atom, and then later it was model. So, here in the Niels Bohr model, so it is like this, that there should be a nucleus around which all the electrons are revolving around in a circular orbit. Okay. So, later it was modified by Sommerfeld. So, the electrons are revolving in the elliptical orbits like this. So, it was explained by Sommerfeld, and then later quantum mechanical model was explained by Schrodinger based on the quantum concept which was proposed by Max Planck. So, that based on the Niels Bohr's concept, so there is an orbit, that means the electrons revolving around the nucleus, the path in which the electron is revolving around the nucleus is known as orbit. Okay. So, this is the nucleus in which all the protons will be accumulated in the small part. Okay. So, around the nucleus the electrons are revolving around in a circular orbit. So, this circular orbit, circular path is known as orbit. So, in the orbit the electrons are revolving around in a particular portion at a time. So, the place in which the electron is located at a particular time is known as orbital. So, okay, orbital is the place in which the probability of finding electron is, finding the density of electron is more. Okay. So, so many orbits are there. So, they are all numbered as, so the symbol is n and they are numbered as 1, 2, 3 and going on. So, if the first orbit n is equal to 1 and it is represented by k, the second orbit n is equal to 2, it is represented by L, the third one is m and so on. Similarly, the orbitals are denoted by L. If the L value is 0, then it represents s orbital. If it is 1, it represents p orbital, and if it is 3, it is d orbital, and if it is 3 and if it is 2, it is d, if it is 3 and it is f orbital. So, in each orbital a fixed number of electrons will be there. In each orbit only fixed number of electrons are revolving around. So, the formula to calculate the number of electrons in a orbit is 2n square. Okay. So, here here are some more points. Okay. So, the point at which the electron density is 0 is called nodal point. So, nodal place. Okay. So, the plane in which the electron density is 0 is known as nodal plane. The radius of the nucleus is of the order of 10 power minus 15 meter. 10 power minus 15 meter is equal to 1 Fermi. So, this is one question that will be frequently asked, the size of the nucleus. What is the size of the nucleus? It is around 1 Fermi. So, 1 Fermi is equal to 10 power minus 15 meters. When coming to the size of the atom, it is 10 power minus 10 meter. Okay, when you compare the size of the atom, the size of the nucleus is very, very small. So, the electrons which are responsible for the chemical behavior are known as valence electrons. So, the valence electrons are taking part in the chemical reaction. Okay. So, Niels Bohr proposed one formula for the hydrogen like atoms to calculate the electrons energy as well as the radius of the orbit. So, the radius of the orbit, nth orbit is given by Rn is equal to 0.529 into n square by z Armstrong. So, here is z is equal to atomic number. Okay. So, the energy of one electron in a particular orbit, nth orbit, is given by E n is equal to minus 13.6 z square by n square. So, the unit here is electron volt per atom. So, if it is denoted by kilojoule per mole, the energy of the electron in the nth orbit E n is equal to minus 1312.8 into z square by n square is the formula. Okay. So, based on this, so one question is given to you. The ground state energy of the electron is 13.6 electron volt. So, the energy of the second state, what is the energy of the second energy level, that is the question. Okay, so here, so it is given in the electron volt unit. So, the formula that you have to apply is this one. Okay, so En is equal to minus 13.6 by n square into z square. So, Niels Bohr formula is applied for hydrogen like atoms. So, hydrogen atom. So, here the n value, that means z value is 1. The atomic number of hydrogen is 1. So, z square, that is 1 square. So, 1 square is 1. Okay. So, now 13.6 by n is equal to 2. So, if you apply this formula, you get 13.6 by n is equal to 2. So, 2 square is equal to 4. So, if you solve it, you get 3.4 electron volt. So, the answer is 3.4. So, later after Sommerfeld, the dual nature of the electron was put forth by de Broglie. That means, the electron has two property, one is wave property, the another one is particle property. Okay, so, they are entirely different properties. So, both the properties are possessed by electron. So, that the dual property of electron has been explained by de Broglie. Okay. So, he give this formula lambda is equal to h by mv, so that you can calculate the wavelength of the electron which is revolving around the nucleus. The electrons are revolving around the nucleus in a wave like manner. So, the wavelength of the electrons when revolving around the nucleus can be calculated by this formula. So, here lambda is the wavelength, h is equal to Planck's constant, m is mass of the electron, v is the velocity of electron. So, okay. So, by applying this formula you can calculate the wavelength. The wave nature of the electron that was explained by de Broglie was later proved by Davis and Germer. It is confirmed by Davis and Germer. Okay. And then later Heisenberg proposed one theory that is known as uncertainty principle. That means, the position as well as the momentum of the electron is not possible to calculate simultaneously. It is impossible to calculate the position as well as momentum of the electron simultaneously. So, there will be an uncertainty in the calculation of position as well as momentum. So, it is known as uncertainty principle, and it is denoted by the formula delta x is into delta p is greater than or equal to h by 4 pi. So, here delta x means uncertainty in the position and delta p is uncertainty in the momentum. So, the product of these two is greater than or equal to h by 4 pi value. Okay, so, based on these concepts, so we see some question. The experiment to measure de Broglie wavelength was first carried out by, so நம்ம ஏற்கனவே சொல்லியிருக்கோம் de Broglie wavelength, de Broglie உடைய எக்ஸ்பெரிமெண்ட்டை யார் ப்ரூவ் பண்ணாங்க அப்படின்றத நம்ம பார்த்துருக்கோம். So, it was Davison and Germer. So, Davison and Germer confirmed the wave nature of the electrons. The second question, the uncertainty principle was proposed by. So, just now we have told that the uncertainty principle was proposed by de Broglie proposed dual property. Okay. So, Thomson proved the wave nature of the electron. Okay. So, here Heisenberg is the answer. Yes. So far we have discussed some important concept, some basic concepts of atomic structure. So, the continuity of the atomic structure we will see it in the next class. Thank you for watching. Keep watching.